There was just last month, this is not old, in December, on the 2nd and 3rd of December, the World Health Organization hosted the Global Vaccine Safety Summit. This was also a 20-year anniversary for the Global Advisory Committee on Vaccine Safety. This was all of the heads, the world leaders on vaccine science and safety gathered together in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, they were there to talk about vaccine safety. So what I want to start this presentation out with was a presentation made by Dr. Heidi Larson. She's an anthropologist that works with the, what's it called? Vaccine Confidence Project. The Vaccine Confidence Project, she's the director. So she's been investigating the confidence around vaccines. This is Dr. Heidi Larson speaking to all of the scientists in Geneva, Switzerland about vaccine confidence.
You've seen a lot of news about the growing questioning environment, but what I'm trying to look at here is where does safety come up in the broader look at where the confidence problem is. And again, safety rises to the top. This was in the US. I've done a lot in Europe. I was actually surprised at Europe being so acutely skeptical when it came to safety. I knew other countries were having some issues, but it was quite acute in Europe. When we try to disaggregate that by different kinds of reasons, safety is the biggest issue. Fear of side effects, low sense of risk. The other thing that's a trend and an issue is not just confidence in providers, but confidence of healthcare providers. We have a very wobbly health professional front line that is starting to question vaccines and the safety of vaccines. That's a huge problem because to this day, any study I've seen, and we're constantly looking on any studies in this space, still the most trusted person on any study I've seen globally is the healthcare provider. And if we lose that, we're in trouble. We've talked about it earlier. Some of the challenges are when the frontline professionals are starting to question, or they don't feel like they have enough confidence about the safety to stand up to it to the person asking them the questions. I mean, most medical school curriculums, even nursing curriculums, I mean, in medical school, you're lucky if you have a half day on vaccines, never mind keeping up to date with all this.
Doctors and even nurses are lucky if they get a half day of education on vaccination.
I spend a lot of time talking, particularly in the last 6 months, with tech companies, Facebook, WhatsApp, Pulsar, Twitter, Instagram, WeChat, Weibo. They have a lot of fingers pointing at them to fix the misinformation problem. But it's not so simple. One, the biggest problem is a lot of it's not misinformation. Our problem is, as we've heard in the last 48 hours, that there's not anything 100%. And what actually can legally, without creating a censorship thing, can we absolutely say this is misinformation? Because we have a lot of ambiguity in the safety field, and we have to come to terms with that. Each of these blobs, as he calls them, are communities, like a Facebook page, or Arnica, this group of mothers. So the green dots are undecided, neutral communities, people interested in vaccines but asking questions. The red are the clearly questioning anti-communities, and the blue are the positive. Already you can see the blue is a tighter group and the red more out there. Now, if you look at the numbers, what he was looking at was over a period of time, literally a couple months, what is the recruiting pace of the blue positive versus the red in them converting the undecided to their camp or the other? it was a 500% faster recruitment by the negative than the positive vaccine community. That's fast. And this is not hypothetical. One of our biggest challenges, I think now, is getting rid of the term anti-vax, getting rid of the hostile language, and starting to have more conversations, to be open to questions, to make people feel like they shouldn't be judged when they're asking questions. As crazy as those questions might seem to you, as stupid as they might seem, or as ignorant as they might seem, we can't risk losing another person's confidence in safety right now. We're in a unique position in human history where we've shifted the human population to vaccine-induced, to dependency on vaccine-induced immunity. And that's on the great assumption that populations would cooperate. And for many years, people lined up. The 6 vaccines, people were there. They saw the reason. We're in a very fragile state now. We have developed a world that is dependent on vaccination. There's a lot of safety science that's needed. And without the good science, we can't have good communication. So although I'm talking about all these other contextual issues and communication issues, it absolutely needs the science as the backbone. You can't repurpose the same old science to make it sound better if you don't have the science that's relevant to the new problems. So we need much more investment in safety science.